Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I am saying that with my house tour, when I was giving you guys the house tour, you've given me 100 views, so thank you for that. So now I've told you my story with regarding the scissors, my fears and all. So today I'm going to give you my high school experience, and I'm going to be shooting it. I'm going to be shooting it in the study room. For those who can see, you can see it. I'm going to be shooting it in our study room. So here is my desktop. Here is my desktop. Here is where I come. Here is basically my desktop, because I did break my laptop. So here are my books. Here are my books. My books. This is basically my side. Here are my books. Here are my books. Here are my books. Here are my books. Then a couple of you might be wondering, where does Miriam get all these insights? So majority of the times, I normally read some motivational books, of which I can show you. Yeah, man. For those that know Robin Sharma, he's among those motivational speakers. So he's a bestseller from America. He's a bestseller from America, and he has written a couple of books. He has written The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. He has written this. So I can suggest to you, if you want to get some insights, you can read the Word of God, and you can also read The Greatest Guide, and also read this. You can also read this. This one is by Charles Fillmore. It is called Prosperity. You can also read this. You can, if you want to get secrets to a life of abundance and purpose. And you can also read this by Bishop T.D. Jakes. T.D. Jakes is among those people that are actually, he's a bestseller. He's a bestseller, and then he's the father to Sarah Jakes Roberts. That pastor that you know is. And then if you want to know the story behind the daughter did become Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts did become pregnant when she was 13, but then the father Bishop T.D. Jakes, and the mother did not question anything. In fact, they had a story. After hearing the story, after hearing the story, they forgave her. After hearing the story, that is Bishop T.D. Jakes and the mother, they heard the story. After hearing the story, they forgave her. After hearing the story, they forgave her. So now, after hearing the story, they forgave her. After forgiving her, they allowed her, and they told her, you can take your consequences, and you can. And in fact, her current husband allowed her to to share the experience of how she became pregnant, and now they have a son. She got a son, of which now the son is approaching his early 20s, and later on, after getting married to the husband, now the husband is a bit older, to Sarah Jakes Roberts. So that is to tell you that to the parents outside there, we sometimes can disappoint you. But then don't be disappointed in us, but instead just come, accept that what has happened has happened. Accept that what has happened. After you have accepted that what has happened, then now come and we are going to take the consequences, and then we are going to know that we should not be. So to my age mates outside there, please, it is not that you want to be that. Once you go to high school, I know the adolescent stage normally comes, and it comes at Form 2. And once it comes at Form 2, please, I do not want to say that I regret, but I will say I wish I listened. Because due to peer pressure, it made me not to read. That was back in 2015. It made me not to read. So basically, my high school experience starts like this. So I did my KCPE back in 2013. After I did my KCPE back in 2013, it reached the date that the results were being announced. After the results were being announced, so I became depressed then, because we were sending the results, they were taking time, so we had to wait for the results. So as you are waiting for the results, it took a bit of time. Taking a bit of time, I saw that I got 339. After I saw that I got 339, I remembered that what did actually save me was my Swahili, of which I got a clean A. English, I got a B, if I could remember that. Science, I got a B+. Maths, I got I think a C+ or a D, because I never loved maths. I hated maths with a passion. I never loved maths. From when I was in primary school, I never loved maths. Then another thing that did happen, I got if I could remember, I got Science D, and Social Studies and CRE, I got a clean E-. So I got 339, of which I was called to Duberry Girls. Now, since my parents did love me, and they have loved me from then on, from when I was birthed till date, since my parents did love me, so my father told me, Marianne, you know what? You're not going there. We are going to go see if you can enter a private high school. So I went to Loreto Convent Musungari, that is in Lavington. After I went there, now what did save me, they could not accept me, but what did save me was my Swahili grade. Because in my Swahili grade, I got a clean A of 86 points. So after getting that, that one was the one that did save me. And so I was admitted. After being admitted there, now we started the journey. Now starting the journey, at first I never loved boarding, but I had to go to boarding. Now, when I went to boarding, in my cube, I was being bullied. Because I did not know a couple of things. Imagine you have been with your parents and you have never gone to boarding, and you've never gone to boarding. Now you're going to boarding, and once you're going to boarding, you do not know a couple of things. So I went to boarding. Going to boarding, in there, I was bullied then, because a couple of them used to tell me, Marian, unafanya nini? Utandiki kitanda yako vizuri. Oh, ufanyi hii. Oh, ufanyi ila. Oh, ufanyi ila. Oh, unaosha sijui nini. Pandi zako unaziosha aje. Nini. So they bullied me a couple of times. So due to that, I have that soft heart. And I've had it from when I was young. From when I was in baby class, and that was back in 2003. So, because I had that soft heart, having that soft heart made me to cry. And by God's grace, I found a friend that we used to call Alexia Uwiti. Wherever she is, God bless her, because she did save me. Then we went to the head of boarding, that is called Mrs. Sagao. Now she's married, I believe. Now she got married. Interesting, she got married. Then we went there. Then we went to the matron. We used to call her Mati. If she's there, God bless her wherever she is. Then we went to the head girl. Then the head girl was called. She was called Stephanie Gogo. If Stephanie Gogo is listening and will see this video, also God bless you, because you did save me then. So later on, and I was also saved by Joan. If Joan Rangara will see this, God bless you for me, because also you did save me then. And if Christine was my school mother. If Christine will see this, also she did save me then. So after all that, that was back in Form 1. Then that is just Term 1. So I went, after being bullied, the people that were bullying me were my crewmates. So they were told that wachaneni na Marian, anaweza kuwa ajui kufanya vitu mingi, lakini hatajifundisha tu, na wachaneni na yeye, lakini tu atajifundisha tu, so wachaneni na yeye. So I did. So after then they were punished. Then they were told, leave her alone, wachaneni na yeye. Decide kuweka then we were now closing for the first term. Also decide kuweka vitu zake zikiwa baridi, ama decide kuweka vitu zake zikiwa bado zijaoshwa, ama mkiona afanye vitu vizuri, wachaneni naye, anaenda. Besides, you're not her parents. Na wewe nyinyi si school mother yake, so wachaneni na yeye. So the head girl then, Stephanie Gogo, also did. She was a day scholar, and she was in Form 4 then. So she told them that leave Marian alone, wachaneni na yeye. Probably anaweza kuwa ajui kufanya kitu, lakini wachaneni na yeye. So after they left me, then I went. Now Mati, the matron, and Mrs. Sagao did ask me, do you want to leave that cube, or what do you want? Then I told Bisi Sagawa and Mati that, you know what, I will develop, and I will teach myself a couple of things. So we went for the term. Going for the term, I came and talked to mom and dad. After talking to mom and dad, then we did the end term exams. During the end term exams, I got a C. After getting that C, I was now here is where depression hit me. After depression hitting me, I could not accept it. And since I have one of the softest of the hearts, I would cry a lot, especially now that we had closed for the term. Then now I decided, in my 15th birthday, I told myself, you know what, Marian, you will have now to mature up, because you know what, you're becoming an adult, you're becoming an adolescent, and it is just now that you have gone to boarding school. So I went back now in 2015. Going back in 2015, the same cube with the same cube mates, they stopped to bully me. They stopped to bully me, but then they never used to talk to me. But then I would just say hi to them. But then they never used to talk to me. Then slowly by slowly, I developed. After then, now peer pressure, now when we were closing now for the third term of 2015, because adolescent did kicking, and it normally kicks in when you're in Form 2. Now the peer pressure came. Out of the peer pressure coming, it made me to say that, let's say that I stopped to read. I never used to read. Reading to me, I never used to do it. I never did it in Form 1, that was back in 2014. I never did it in 2015. Then slowly by slowly, the time flew. We reached now in 2016. Reaching in 2016, now then I was in Form 3. Being that I was in Form 3, now I used to cry to be given a phone, of which I was given. And in there, if you would check my messages, if you check my messages, a couple of times, a lot of boys would lie to me. And after they lied to me, due to that, I was naive then. I would say I was naive as a teenager. I was naive then. And I would not listen to mom and dad. And I would not listen to anyone. So I was naive then. And so I started, now my grades in Form 1 and Form 2, they started to go down. Form 2, they went down. Swahili, I continued to love Swahili. And then I continued to love even history. So in Form 3, when there's a time that it reaches, now you'll have to choose some subjects. So I decided I'm going to take maths. Maths is a compulsory. English is also a compulsory. Kiswahili. Then I decided between history and geography, I took history. Then slowly by slowly, I loved history. I loved CRE. I loved history. I loved CRE. I loved Swahili. And I also loved English a bit. But then, someone that does not love to read, now Form 3 is catching up now with me. Now, since Form 3 was catching up with me, I used to sleep. In the desk a couple of times. I would sleep in class, I would do this, I would do that. And then I would become ill a couple of times. I would become ill a couple of times, and we would go with the nurse, and she would take me to the hospital. Then I would be given some medicine, and then from then on I used to look at someone, and I would stare at someone till the time now I lose myself. When I'm staring to the person, I lose myself. Then after I lose myself, someone comes to me and tells me, "Ay, Mariana Muka. Then I go back to my senses. So slowly by slowly, in Form 3 now, I met this girl we call Yvonne Wanjiro Chege. If Yvonne is going to look at this video, God bless you. At first, I met her when we were in Form 3. Then a little did I know that I would sleep with her. So we slept with her. And that was the cube that normally has two. It is just a double decker that the president is sleep. I used to sleep on top, then Yvonne sleeps down. So majority of the time, Yvonne took her studies seriously, but me, I was like, wachana nayo, I will not sitatulia manani. But then, due to that, I loved English, Swahili, CRE, and history. I took these four. I took them and I would study them effectively. So slowly by slowly, time flew. We interacted with Yvonne. She became the head girl. She became my friend. And slowly by slowly, time flew. Now 2017 reaches. That is when I did my KCSE the first time. Now, due to that, I normally told you can redeem yourself when you are a candidate. Then on, I would redeem myself. But then, time was not on my side because term 1 ended. Term 2 ended. Now we are in term 3. Term 3 is when I was coming to do you're coming to do your KCSE. And you have revised, yes, but then you do not know what it is going to be. So now the day of the exams reached. We did paper 1, paper 2, we did every paper. I did every paper. Then finally we finished. After finishing, I left school. Leaving school, I told myself, high school imeisha. So slowly by slowly, the day for the results again reached. Now the day for the results reaching, I never knew. Now we started to send again. Sending the SMS again, we found out that, and sorry, 2016, there's a day that when we were in the hanging lines, there's a day I put my feet in a place that got me to be injured. So my leg was also swollen. And the medication that I was taking would make me to sleep a lot more in the desks in a class. So slowly by slowly, time flew. After time flying, we did the KCSE. We left school. I told myself, nimemaliza sasa. Haina haja nishinje nikisoma. So I stayed at home. Now staying at home, staying at home. Now the day for the results come. We send the SMS. Sending the SMS, my friends, I found out that I got a D minus. I ordered D minus. So we went for Christmas, going for Christmas. Now we enter now in 2018. We normally come in Musongari, we normally come for the mass, so that in order for the candidates of that class, of that season, of that year, to come and see you guys. And we kinda motivate them. But did Marianne go? I did not go, because remember I had gotten a D minus. So even my class teacher, she called my father then and told him that, unajua nini, nimeona kenye Marianne amepata. Unajua nini, nimeona kenye Marianne amepata, lakini usitie shaka, anaweza fanya bridging course na ajiredeem, ama umtafutie kazi ama chochote. Then to her surprise, I stayed like 3 months. And we go to NIBS. They tell us, tunaona afanye 2 bridging course. We go to NIBS, they say the same. We go to KIPS, they say the same. We went to each and every college, and they would tell us, me and Dad, that, you know what, tunaona tu afanye bridging. Sorry for that. Tunaona afanye 2 bridging course. Afanye 2 bridging course, na itampatia chance aingie university. Since then on, I wanted so much to be a lawyer. I told my father, you know what, tuende ukanitafutie high school ingine, na sasa this time around nataka ikuwe day school, isikuwe boarding. So we went to Kaha West, and we looked at Marion Farmhouse, and the Marion Senior School, they allowed me, so we went there. There at least I redeemed myself, and I got a bit of a good grade. I got at least a D plus. But then now we go up to my up country. When you're going to my up country, even my cousin also did repeat, but then she also improved. My cousin now are telling me they are having this, they have this, and you have a D plus. What do you do with that? I had that. Then I told my grandmother, unajua nini shosho, wacha niingie nikalale. I never even wanted to interact with my cousins anymore. I just told my shosho that, unajua nini shosho, wacha niingie nikalale. Then my shosho told me, mwana wako doka, don't lose hope. I will just translate what she told me. Mtoto wangu, don't lose hope. You can be excellent in everything that you're going to do, and it is not a must you can be excellent in what you're going to do. Just redeem yourself. So slowly by slowly, and then let me go back a little bit. Now in 2016, when we closed schools in term 3, my father did decide that he's going to call a teacher, and this teacher is from Kiambu High School, and he did come to we were coming to do some remedials, and we were doing it with a boy that I cannot mention the name right now, but then on that boy, we did it. I tried sex for the first time with the boy, and we did it, and we did it in a bit in the loo that I showed you guys. So we did it in the loo, but by God's grace, I never became pregnant. So I have played I've prayed all the time when I was in boarding high school. I've played with my education all the times that I've been boarding high school. Then now in 2018, now is when officially I turned 18. Turning 18, I did redeem myself, but then now when we went to the up country, I told you guys that's where depression kicked me. Because after I told my grandmother, then she told me that usijali, you can redeem yourself. I went, slept, then Christmas ends, Boxing Day, or the time for the celebration ends. Now we reach now to 2019. Reaching to 2019, I was not seeing anything. I thought that now I sank into depression. Then on, before now, the social chairman of the estate did come and told my father that anaweza enda kafanye hapo IDP kwenye na kujanga kwa kanisa, kuna university hapo, anaweza kuja aende kafanye kwa hiyo program na anaweza jiridima hapo. So I went there, I did YDP, and then I was coping up well, till one day Bado is still in YDP. There was a day that I also, due to having the softest of the hearts, then I remember then YDP continued well. Then I finished YDP, went to Kabarak school, went to Kabarak University. I became born again. Then I started to go to Kim. Starting to go to Kim, I collapsed one day. I was taken to Aga Khan. Is where now the condition that I've been having for the last 5 years, it did come. That's why majority of the times I never like to be anxious of anything. I never like to be stressed, and I never like to work under pressure, and I never like to be deprived of sleep. Because once you do that to me, if I would have noticed then on when I was in high school, the reasons I would stare at a person to the extent that I lose myself, if I would have known then that if we would have took the challenge and know then that probably that is the time that this condition was developing, we would have started with the medications then, and I would have saved my time, and I would have redeemed myself and probably gotten a good grade. I would have gotten good grades. But then I can say that I'm also at surprise, because last year when I graduated, I was like, a person like me who got a D minus, a D plus, is graduating now, and she's graduating from diploma. Then this year when it started again, I found myself doing degree. Then I met a special person who has redeemed me and has shown me the way. I've met different people when I'm in campus, my second home, and I have had favor with God Himself and a couple of people, and they can tell you that And they can tell you that Mirani is that person that is very social and she's really lovable with everyone. And even the VC, and I found out that I had some gifts to the extent I was even emceeing the sports day of this year when I'm in my second home, that is the Pan-African Christian University. Then we even took some, there was even a webinar that we took some photos, and I was with of which I've taken those photos with some 2 lawyers, one senior, one junior. And slowly by slowly, I can say that the CIDA has had its ups and downs, but I can say when I met that special person, Mrs. Sally Chelimo Rono, wherever you are, God bless you for me. I'm totally grateful. I'm totally grateful. I'm totally grateful. You know what you redeemed me from, and God knows what you saved me. My parents, I'm also grateful for you. My dad, my mom, I'm also grateful for you. The park community, thank you for loving me with who I am, not what people normally say. I can say that even being in the Pan-African Christian University has also had its challenges, because there are a lot of people who normally criticize me, but then I got used to the criticism, so that criticism does not affect me. But behind the scenes, I normally go lock myself and cry to God and tell him that you're the one that has my future. You're the one that has my future. And you're the one who knows my future. And you're the one that know my future. And you're the one that know my future. Nobody knows my future. Only you know my future. And you're the one that created me. So help me to learn how to cope with this, and to learn how to continue the journey, because the journey has not been an easy one. The journey has not been an easy one. If there is a person that is living with a chronic illness, they will tell you the journey is not an easy one. The journey is not an easy one. The journey is not an easy one. But if it is I that graduated last year, truly God is faithful. If it is I that has a YouTube channel and that it is normally trends in Facebook, in YouTube sometimes, I normally find that I've gotten 193 views, I've gotten 293 views. If it is I that has a TikTok that is 1,600 followers, then Facebook I have got 5.2k followers, then truly God knows my purpose. Truly God knows my purpose, and truly God is faithful. This is to tell that person that is discouraged. Probably your high school was not that joyful. Probably your primary has also been not that good. Probably as a baby it was not that good. But you know what, my friend? Probably you're not blessed in education. But then I will tell you, you've got talents and gifts. You've got talents and gifts. So just try. Just try. You can try You can cry a bit, but then try. Cry a bit, but try. Cry, but try. Cry, but try. Cry, but try. Then just be. Then allow God to use. Okay. Sorry for that, guys. Then after you have tried and cried and have done, then tell God, then allow God to bring people who are going to redeem you. Because this is what Joshua Selman normally tells us to do. He normally says that pray for your destiny connectors, pray for your destiny connectors, pray for your destiny influencers, pray for your burden bearers. But the burden bearer is that person that will come, and once you're crying, the person will be there for you. Once you're crying, they will be there for you. Then get a destiny connector that will connect you to your purpose, of which I can say God is faithful. I found my destiny connectors. If it were not by God's grace, then I would not have opened this YouTube channel, because at first I never knew even how to do it. But by God's grace, I went to my HOD, then I texted my HOD, then he texted me back during the exhibition day. Then he told me the studio technician has heard it, and then we went with the studio technician. The studio technician showed me what to write in the description. Then I have opened the YouTube channel. I have opened the YouTube channel. If I did not allow God for him to use a special person, of which I'm grateful for him to use Mrs. Charlie Cherimo Lono, then I would not. Then you would be seeing Marianne just me sleeping or depressed or what. Then another couple of people that are inside the park community. If it were not by God's grace, then I would not have been loved by a couple of people in my second home, that is the Pan-African Christian University. If it were not by God's grace, then my parents would not, my father would never encourage me daily and tell me, you know what, Miriam, just continue fighting for your dreams. And you know what, Miriam, he would not have been praying for me daily for this thing to end. He would not have been praying for me for this thing to end. And you never encourage me. And if it were not by God's grace, then even my mother would not be doing the same. They would just leave me there. But by God's grace, they have been through it all. Even in the semester that passed, they have been there through it all. Some of the park community have also been there through it all. Then if it were not by God's grace, then one Miss Juliet Sese Sombo would not also love me. Then so just allow people to be used by God to come and redeem you. Allow people to be used by God to come and redeem you. And if it were not by God's grace, then I would not be having a TikTok that is 1,600 followers, and I would not be having a Facebook that is 5.2k followers. I will not be having that. So, my friends, probably you're having your high school, your primary, your what was not that juicy. But then you know what, my friends? You know what, my friend? You can redeem yourself and you can allow God to bring people who are going to come and redeem you. Who are going to come and redeem you. So allow God to do His work, and also you do your work, and then you will see the effects of which now I am seeing the effects and I'm loving it. So thank you to each and everyone that is my subscriber. Thank you to each and everyone that is also my follower on Facebook. Thank you to each and everyone that is also my follower on TikTok. Thank you. Thank you so much. Mrs. Sally Chelimo again, thank you again. To the park community, thank you again. To my father and mother, thank you again. And to God Almighty, thank you again. Lord, you are indeed a faithful God. So to you be the glory. I'm still waiting for some of the promises, but then I will continue to trust you. So thank you to everyone for listening to me. So watch, like, comment, share and subscribe.